Hello, this is the second video I've uploaded relating to this game that I'm working on. I've done a bit of stuff, like create a second section, but unfortunately you can't really access it. I'm not going to show you it now because I want to show you what I've done so far. Oh, I've added idling. See? The player can stand around now. As you can see, the game checks for whether or not the player is moving. And if the player's not moving, then it says idle. If they are, then it says moving. And if you are continuously pressing the direction that the player is moving, it will not say idle. But if you're doing this, then it won't animate the player. It's just a bug. I don't want to fix it since, what psychopath does that? Speedrunners trying to do RNG manipulation? Because that doesn't work on computers, buddy. Anyways, I'm going to show you my code. Now, do you think the code sucks anymore? Please leave in the comments whether or not you think I cleaned up my code. Pause now, and then unpause once you're done. Now, if you are itching to, well, see the answer, here. Yeah, I hadn't really done very much. But anyways, basically the game is looking for if the player's moving, so it uses input.getVector once, just to see whether or not the player's moving, prints whether or not they are, just to check if it's working properly, says moving equals false. If else, it does the opposite. And it utilizes this for the animations, which honestly look much, much worse. Now, if I put this project on GitHub, I will encourage you to clean up the code if you're ever going to use this engine for your own games, because really, it's not great. It's awful, really. This code needs a lot of cleaning up, and please keep in mind a kid wrote all of this, which is me. The core movement code has not been changed, mainly because that would just be really useless. And the code deciding whether or not the player is choosing directions. But really, the only code that's really been changed is the animation section, which I might call the animation manager because, well, it needs that name, but whatever. Anyways, all of the code for the player is in that single script, and this is the player. The player can hear audio, for example. I'm just going to show you an example. But first, if you want to play custom music, you have to actually drag in a song and turn up the decibels, as well as turn on autoplay. As of now, at least. I hadn't added any turn-based combat, and if you want any sort of tips to help teach me how to do something like, add the ability for saving, please do. I'm a kid and I don't want to follow any tutorials since, well, I want to code this from scratch. All I need is some hints because, well, I'm willing to do all the code myself, but I would like some assistance if you really feel like doing so, okay? Now, anyways, let me show you, for example, what it... Now, I quite like that music that was playing there, but I also have the video RAM active, just to see what's actually rendering, and it shows me the megabytes and bytes. And over here, it's just bytes, kilobytes, megabytes, or is that bits? Whatever. The debugger is here just to make sure my brain doesn't, or my game doesn't want to break, but basically this is what's over here. and I have the debugger and the video RAM to make sure I don't use too much. I want the total to stay low, so if you wanted to use this engine for yourself, I might pretty it up a little bit to make it, not suck and be worthwhile to use. The game has support for music, and, well, I like it. It also has support for usual audio, like, the player having footsteps. I don't want to implement that, since that's not what I'm here for, but I am going to clean up some stuff, like a little bit of the code, by adding some more comments to make sure that whoever sees it can at least guess what the code does. Like, you see this monstrosity? Yeah, this is a bit excessive just to make the player animate. And I don't know how to clean this up really, since it works, and I'm gonna leave it at that. The overworld movement engine shouldn't really be that expensive. I will set up a folder that will just make this easier for me to just organize my game, because a lot of it has just been chucked over here. Oh, ignore this real quick. This is just a big fat stream of stuff. I'm going to organize it a little bit, but basically, yeah, this game needs some organization. On the next video, on the next episode of me making random stuff, I'm going to be showing you, me organizing the code. I might organize the code better, I might clean up my organization. All I want to do is be able to post it on GitHub once I'm finished. Which is, yes, a very ambitious goal, I know, classy, but basically I want this game to be presentable somewhat. And the game can set the player's direction for free, basically as a side effect of putting in this system where it just uses the player's directions. But also, if you don't want your console to be flooded, don't leave the game on for too long. Especially since, well, it might not affect the average player, they're not looking at the output. It might affect some people. I might clean up my workspace, I might blah blah blah, do stuff to make sure that what I'm doing doesn't actually suck. And some stuff I plan to add, and hopefully will show added in the next devlog. Stuff like stairs slowing down the player when you climb up it, and stuff like doors working. It's not that ambitious, a lot of top-down RPG games have that, but real quick, before I go, and before you likely go, wow, I've been recording for 7 minutes already, so I'm going to show you the level I've been working on, with the music that should play in it. I have added parallaxing, but that's just a thing that comes for free in this game engine. Now, I know that there's a YouTube bot that, watches videos for you. Don't use it. Please. I should have mentioned that earlier. But, goodbye. This video's been long enough. And, well, that dungeon has almost nothing in it, and I need to make teleporters and, well, the music able to swap. Okay. Thank you. Goodbye.